Hi, I am Anjali D'Souza from Artisto Picasso. In this tutorial, we are going to apply the principle of emphasis to create an impactful design layout. So without further ado, let's get started. In this tutorial, we are going to understand the principle of emphasis. Emphasis is used to guide the user's attention to a part of the composition or layout by creating contrasting elements. It refers to the importance of the elements on your design and what order they should have on it. Let's take a look at the dots in the left box. Which one are you looking at first? Well, it's hard to say because they all are identical in characteristics. In order to emphasize one or more, to create focus, it will have to be treated differently. Now, let's take a look at the example on the right. The red dot stands out, drawing your eye to notice it first. This is considered good emphasis. Emphasis in design can be created by difference in color, contrast, shape, size, or texture. Now that we understand what emphasis does, let's analyze a design layout and see how it can be improved by using the principle of emphasis. The layout on your screen seems to be very busy with images and text, and it lacks an emphasis, and that's why your eye isn't able to move through the information seamlessly. Let's see how we can fix this with a few tweaks. Let's start by taking a new artboard. Let's go into our artboard panel and click on the plus mark. The next thing we're going to do, so I'm pressing the keys Command C to copy and then pressing the keys Command F to paste in place. The first thing we're going to work with to create good emphasis is to remove these images since they seem very cluttered. Let's take this element outside our artboard for now. I have an image already, but you could use any image of your choice that you see fit to match the content in your design layout. The idea is to make sure that it complements the layout and doesn't distract from the actual information. I have resized it to make sure that it's emphasized and also complements the content. I am further going to emphasize it by drawing a rectangle and using my ink dropper tool and giving it a color. Blue seems to be good. And I'm going to bring the image to the front. Maybe push it a little bit more to this side. Yeah, this seems good. The next thing that we have to work with is the typography. As you can see, there seem to be multiple different fonts. Ideally, in an artwork, let's avoid that because it just causes confusion. I'm using a font that is going to be standard throughout this layout. It's called Poppins. So I'm going to begin with the first sentence. I want to emphasize it, but not too much. So this is how I'm going to do that. I'm going to emphasize the first sentence by making it a color and also maybe making it a little bit more bolder. But I'm not going to increase the size because I don't want it to be the first thing that you look at. The next thing we're going to work with is machine learning, which is basically what the layout talks about. So I am going to really emphasize this with maybe the weight, the size, and finally standardize it with the color that we are being using in this layout, which is blue. I also feel that from your home seems to be getting emphasis that could be reduced slightly. So I'm reducing it in size just a little bit. And finally, I'm just going to kern it slightly. Yeah. I feel this looks alright, the description, but maybe we could make it into regular because it's just supporting text. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup the call to action. I feel the call to action definitely needs to be more emphasized because it's asking the user to act on it. So I'm going to make it semi-bold. I am also going to reduce this bounding box slightly and make sure that this blue is standardized with whatever I've been using so far. This seems to be all right to me, the social media handles. Maybe we could just make them slightly smaller. I've just grouped it so that it all reduces proportionately. The last bit that we are going to work with is this element that I previously removed from the screen. I'm going to bring it to the front, yeah. And I feel that it's still getting emphasis that it doesn't need to, but it's also looking a little dull. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on it so that I get to see only this element. I'm going to go into my color picker and make it white. That way it's going to stand out against the background and the image and also get the emphasis it needs. I'm going to ungroup it completely so that I can work with refining the text the way I want to. And finally, reducing the size of the box. Since the content seems to fit perfectly well in this, I've grouped them again and selecting the background and selecting it again. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to align it to make sure that it's perfectly in the center. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to group it to the background and finally place it at the bottom. So even though both the layouts have the same content, the right one looks much more simple and professional. This is because we emphasized content that needed to be focused on first. I hope this tutorial was insightful and can help you create great design layouts. See you in the next lesson.
I hope this tutorial was helpful. To learn more, subscribe to our full course from artistopicasso.com. Thank you and have a great day.